people say okay if them is bad, but we will need the people help them and come if we talk about is that important to him people decide that nothing maybe help with me and this on their body.
Hello and welcome to the People First podcast. Today we are speaking to our good friend Will Quick on the show. Will visited our office as part of an ongoing project, so we decided to do a podcast episode where we could share more information all about it. Welcome back to the show, Will.
Thank you very much, Tom. Hello, everyone.
Could you introduce yourself and explain your job role, please?
My name is Will Quick. I'm a co-production partnership coordinator. I'm employed by Equality Together, and I'm lucky enough to work with people across the Bradford district who are involved with different organisations which support disabled people.
What is this project about?
We're working on developing some guides to public buildings in the Bradford district, and we want us to do 5 or 6 to start with, but the guides are going to be letting people know what sensory issues there are in the buildings. So what's the lighting like, what's the sound levels like, is it got strong smells, things like that. So we're going to be going to different types of buildings. We're doing Darley Street Market, we're going to do a community hospital, one of the museums or galleries in the district, maybe a bus station. So, and what we'll be doing is, got a checklist which we've developed with people who are neurodiverse and have learning disabilities to say what's important. And we'll go to the buildings and say the lighting levels, it's bright or it's not, it's a bit dim or it's echoey. So so we'll be going all around Bradford doing these guides. Then we said we're going to do 5 or 6 buildings to start with. We've already done some at Manningham Mills and some at Central Hall in Keighley, which people from People First, Keighley and Craven help with.
Yeah, and I've just done a quick test video run today, which I'll send to you and then see what you think.
Right, fabulous.
How did you first get involved with this project?
So in my job, I do different projects with people with different disabling conditions and the council and NHS. And one of the projects is trying to make Bradford a better, more friendly place if you've got a neurodivergent condition or you've got a learning disability. And people were saying that actually what we need is to know what different public buildings are like before you go in. So if you've got sensory issues, you know what it's like, or you can find out whether there's a quiet room or a sensory room, things like that. And so it came out of people who are neurodivergent and learning disabilities saying it would be a useful thing to do. So we'll be working on it for a few months now, and first of all kind of just deciding what sort of questions we wanted to ask, where we wanted to go, but also making sure that it worked, because there's no point having a tool which works for me but doesn't work for people who are going to be using it, and are we asking the right questions. So it's been a long process, but I think it's been good.
How and why did it start?
Well, people with learning disabilities or who are neurodivergent, things like autism and ADHD, often said that when they go to a new place for the first time, they can struggle. They want to know a bit more about it, what the place is like, so what the lighting's like, what the sound levels are like. And so it came from that, listening to what people were saying, and we've got, we're talking to people, and so it came from listening to what people wanted, and people came together as a group, and we've met mostly online for this group, but it's been people from People First Keeping Craven, people from Bradford People First, people from Specialist Autism Services, people from Autism AIM, I think somebody from one of the ADHD groups, and so it's come together, very much coming from what people have wanted, and I've been kind of making sure the meetings happen and don't go off on too many strange new directions, but it really has come from the people who kind of all benefit from it.
What type of people do you want to get involved in the project?
So we want people who are neurodivergent and people who have learning disabilities to be involved in it, and it's been very much that so far, and we want it to be people who are interested in finding out what's happening in public buildings. I think the main thing is you need to be able to get to the different places we'll be going to. So we'll be going to Darley Street Market, the community hospital in Eccles Hill, one of the museums and galleries. So you need to be able to travel there on your own. For some people, we'll be reading the questions out, so you need to be reasonably confident at reading, but the survey's been done in easy read, so which hopefully people will be able to access it. And we need one person to be writing the answers down, so at least one person would be helpful if they can write. But if you struggle with that, you don't have to. There's different roles to do. The most important role is to be able to say, if we say the question is, how bright it is in here, to be able to go, actually it's this bright. I think it's, and usually most people agree. Sometimes we disagree and have a bit of a discussion, but it's but that's the main thing. So the other things which people will be doing when we do the visits to the different places is we need somebody to take photos, or so that people can see what the place is like. And we've also been because again, how warm or cold a place is quite important. So we've got a little thermometer so people can take the temperature from them, and a sound meter so we can find out how loud it is.
What has been your favourite part of working on this project so far?
I think working with a really great bunch of people who are really keen to get involved, and people who've got lots to contribute. So we've been working together as a team. I think it's been a really good part of it. And when we came to both Bannigan Mills and Central Hall, you really saw the fact that all the work we put in actually beginning to work. And so that's been, I think, probably one of the highlights for me as well. So,
if someone wanted to go get involved with this project, how could they do that?
So they can either contact me directly. So my email address is willq@equalitytogether.org.uk. That's willq@equalitytogether.org.uk. Or they can call, text or WhatsApp me on 07432 264 881. That's 07432 264 881. Or they could send a message to People First Keeping Craven, and the team will pass it on.
Why did you come to People First Keeping Craven with this project?
I got in touch with a lot of different groups asking people who wanted to be involved in this, and People First Keeping Craven came back and were really keen to be part of it. And when we were doing testing the sensory needs checklist, somebody suggested that we came to Central Hall and did a test there, so that's worked out really well. And so, yeah, because you're all really keen to get involved with different stuff and enthusiastic about the work we're doing. So work with people who are enthusiastic about it.
What are the plans for when the project is finished?
Well, that's a little while off at the moment, but so before we get to that stage, we need to do the visits to the different sites. But the stage after that is we need to get all the information onto the internet so people can find it. And so after we've done this stage, we will be looking at how to making an accessible website, find out from, again, people with learning disabilities and people who are neurodivergent, what do they want, how do they want to access this information most easily. And it's been agreed it's going to be on a website, because printing it out is going to be very costly, and the information changes, and so if suddenly there's a change, if it's printed, that's no good. The website can be kept up to date. And once we've got this first stage done, I think it's about having a toolkit which other people and other groups can use and go to other buildings, and so build it up from there. So I'll be taking it to a bit where there's probably 5 or 6 buildings done, plus the places we tested, like Central Hall and Manningham Mills. But after that, it'd be really good if other people can go out and visit Cliff Castle Museum or the Victoria Hall in Keighley or Salts Mill in Saltaire, wherever it is people want to go. So that's the next stage.
Why do we need involve people with disabilities when viewing accessibility?
Because it's about making buildings work for our needs, and we are the people who know what works for us and what doesn't work for us. I think it's especially important when looking at sensory issues, which is particularly for people who are neurodivergent or have a learning disability. And many of us have some sensory sensitivities, so we might be more sensitive to light or sound or smells, and we will notice things which other people might miss. And ideally we have a team of people going to the different buildings so we can all pick up on different things. And again, as we go forward, it might be really important to get people to be working with people who manage supermarkets to be involved. So it's about building a team going forward. It's about making sure that it meets our needs, and it's about listening to and working with the people who are affected by things. So that's why. So thank you for that.
That's all the time we have for today. We'd like to say a big thank you to Will for joining us on the show again. We hope all continues to go well with your building accessibility project, and that the results can help have a positive impact in Bradford for our disability community. Do you have anything else you would like to say before we end the show?
No, I'd just like to thank you all for inviting me on and asking such really good questions. So it's been a pleasure, and look forward to working with you all over the coming weeks and months on this and other projects.
Not a problem. Thanks for coming on.
I hope and pray to get you working again. If you enjoy it, then don't forget to follow us on social media to find out about what we do and our
upcoming interviews, you can join us on TikTok, Facebook, X and Instagram by searching for the People First Podcast. Thanks again for listening and we will see you next time.